Hey, how are you doing? I'm Vasco Duarte, your host on the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, and I've got some exciting news. So, right now, as I record this, I'm holding in my hand the signed contract for our very first Global Agile Summit. We're all in, and I couldn't wait to share this news with you. So mark your calendars, May 18th to 20th of 2025 in Tallinn, Estonia. We're going to have a transformative experience. We're putting together an event that it's all about real-life Agile. It's not theory or buzzwords. It's practitioners sharing what's working, what's making an impact, and how they've overcome challenges that you too will have to face, or maybe even facing right now. We're bringing together the best stories in Agile, from product leaders to engineering wizards to business visionaries. These will be stories that will inspire you to action. This isn't just another conference. It's a chance to connect with the people that are shaping the future of Agile. And here's the best part. Right now, we're in our super early bird phase. And that means you can grab tickets at just 25% of the final price. Look, that's not just half off. It's half off of the half off. It's an incredible deal for our dedicated community members, just like you, listening to this right now. So at the summit, day one will be all about hands-on workshops. And days 2 and 3 will dive into leadership, product strategy, coding testing, and everything that makes Agile thrive in organizations right now. Remember, these are all first-person, real-life stories. Now, whether you're a leader, a developer, or part of a consulting company, this event is built to take your Agile game to the next level. So don't wait. Go to globalagilesummit.com and grab your ticket today. Let's all make 2025 the year Agile truly transforms your teams, your business, and our industry. I'll see you all in Tallinn. And remember, go to globalagilesummit.com and get your super early bird ticket right now. It will only be available until the agenda is announced. So don't wait. Grab it right now. Right, now that that's out of the way, on to the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Product Owner TGIF episode this week with Robert Finan. Hey, Robert, welcome back.
Hi, Vasco.
So product owners, I know there are great product owners, and we'll talk about one in a second or more. Let's see. But first, let's dive into, Robert, what you think might be possibly the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
We can have a discussion as whether this is truly a Scrum team, but basically where the product owner is not part of the team. The product owner sees the team as a sort of delivery team, and they just throw features, they throw user stories, they throw demands basically over the fence to the team and expect things to get running, to get going. You'll notice when this is happening. So one of the coaches I had at one point said to me, definition of ready is an anti-pattern. And I was a little bit, what do you mean definition of ready is an anti-pattern? I thought it was a good thing. And the thinking was, if you really have a product owner who's part of the team, they know what the team needs to be able to get the work done. You shouldn't have to list it. Now, you get this definition of ready where the product owner, maybe they generally very often they belong to the business analyst group. They may even belong to the business side. They're not necessarily part of the IT, or if they are part of the IT, they might be part of the program managers or that. So they don't always feel part of the team. The old thinking is still there. Now they have the title product owner. They are responsible for the backlog and the refinement and stuff like that. But you see this tension. They don't, the team is there to sort of deliver what they want. They don't feel part of the team. They don't feel like it's us together getting something done. And that for me, when, definition of ready is to a certain extent a smell. Now, definition of ready is good at the start when teams are starting up, but a mature team that's been running for a while, I don't think it should need it. It should.
Yeah. Let me explore that a little bit, because I think that's a very important point. So you talked about the anti-pattern when the PO sees themselves outside the team, right? Like, yes, they're giving the team orders, basically. And then you have the definition of ready, which tries to, I think in a very effective way, bridge that gap bridge that distance between the PO and the team. And sometimes there will be also a PO proxy trying to do the same, right? So you called it an anti-pattern. I don't disagree with that necessarily. I would call it a workaround. Or a smell, like you also did, because it points to something that is missing, right? Like the definition of done is a key part of Scrum, but it also points to something that is missing. Whether there is a shared agreement on what qualities, or whether there is clarity on what needs to be done before a release, whatever that is, right? The definition of done is also there because of it. And I don't see any problem with it. I don't see any problem with the definition of ready, but I do agree with you that it points to a gap, to a distance that we should look into. Is this a distance that is strictly necessary because of the way the organization is, and we need to work around that? Or is this because the PO really doesn't want to be involved, and they're kind of making an effort, but not really wholeheartedly? Like those are completely different situations, right?
Exactly. So you've got the case where the PO probably has been made a PO, maybe against their own wishes. They may be PO for more than one team. They probably juggling 2 or 3 other projects at the same time. And this is just the way the organization works. Sometimes you have, quite often, you also have POs, though that have no experience of being POs, or your 2-day CSPO course is not going to be enough to do this, where they just need they need a fair bit of coaching and support, and to understand how, why it's a benefit for them. It will actually benefit them to become more integrated with the team, and to spend more time with the team, and to learn how the team really ticks, so they can get the best out of that. But they need to, it's this sort of idea of shared responsibility, that it's not just a throw it over the fence, wait till it's done, go to the review. That's literally mini waterfall. That's literally the definition of mini waterfall. I do my requirements, I disappear for 2 weeks, I reappear and do the review. It's terrible. And you can, working with these people, some people are great and they're really prepared to work in it, and they want to do it right. And then others, we kind of got us, we did a reorg, and you were a project manager, now you're a product owner. Okay. And yeah, but then we're back to the change and how the change happened, and they're not, so it's not completely their fault either, right? So again, we're back to crucial conversations, to talking to people. Let's find out what's going on here. What could work? Like, is there something we could do? Maybe we could arrange a meeting every day with maybe it's not the daily, but maybe we have certain touch points during the week and stuff like that, where we get better feedback and stuff like that. There's a lot that can be done to improve the situation.
And I think that that's the hopeful part, right? Like recognizing the anti-pattern isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of the story, right? When the definition of ready is there, that's not a problem. That's just an invitation to understand why is it there, right? And I think that we as Scrum Masters, we really need to have that perspective, that all the anti-patterns are out there are just invitations for us to think, why is this happening?
Yeah, start up a discussion. Everything's like reason to have a discussion. Let's find out more. Be curious. What's up next?
Be curious, indeed.
Be curious.
Well said, well said. And of course, we do this because we want to help product owners, become great product owners. But, let's be honest, there are some great product owners already out there, and I'm sure you know some. So Robert, share with us potentially the best product owner you've ever worked with. How did they work?
Well, this goes back to that team I mentioned, where we managed to get the product owner to literally leave his own building and spend 4 days a week with the team. Okay, and what we did there and what went really well was, I'm a really big fan. So joining a team, I very often spend at the start a lot of time with the product owner, because if we're not building the right thing, it doesn't matter how good the team is. If we build the wrong thing, it's pointless. So what's our effectiveness? So I feel like it's very important to get that direction, to get that plan with the product on what's going to be, and how do we get feedback of what we're producing, who are the stakeholders, what needs to be done. So I like to work a lot with the product owner at the start. And one of the things that I found really, really useful, and if they use it well, it's great, I'm a big fan of user story mapping, feature mapping, as the idea of layering functionality over time, and being able to stop at a certain point in time and have everything still working end to end. And so one of the best ones I had, this is exactly the approach we took. And he really worked there. He was present. He was there for those 4 days every week, and he was really able to. We worked on all those stories that were part of the user story map and stuff like that. And we did the whole thing physically at the time and in Jira. So we had the documentation in Jira, but we really worked a lot with the physical board at the time. And just the team, he was there for the team, and the contact and communication was there all the time. And really during the week, it wasn't just like, appearing at dailies and stuff like that. He was available, and that made a big difference. This team, they made it into the company magazine, and it's, like several pages about how well the team had performed at the end, in the middle of the company magazine. And I think a lot of it was down to his willingness to be a part of the team, and not to see himself as a separate part of the project management, because they were in different organizations and different buildings. And so this is sometimes that kind of hurdle, that kind of bridge, or that gap you need to cross, that everybody comes together and says, no, we're a team together.
Well, what do you think led this product owner to first accept and then actually take action on slowly becoming part of the team?
I'll be honest, he was young and enthusiastic, and less. And I think for that reason, more open to thinking about things in a different way, and more open to this. So I think there were definitely other product owners in the company who, if we got them, they would have stayed in the other building. They would have said, no, this is how we work. And other teams were working that way. And so when they said, how could we replicate your success? I said, I'm not so sure, because we had this kind of dedication from the product owner that we weren't seeing from a lot of other people. And I think he understood, he saw the benefits. This project, as you said, what's the good one? It was a successful project. We were running a pilot basically with people using it. We were getting feedback in the review meetings from the stakeholders about how many contracts had been completed with the software. And that's a wonderful feedback loop to have that I've rarely seen. That it's in the field, the stuff is coming back, we see what we're doing is working. And he was great as well. He was prepared to say, we're not implementing that, they haven't asked for it, we'll wait and see what happens. So yeah. Not sure if there's a secret ingredient anywhere in there, but I think he saw the benefit of what was happening.
I don't think it is secret, but I'm sure there are ingredients there, like being present with the team 4 days a week, wanting to try out technologies like story mapping, helping to build the feedback loop from the market straight into the team, saying no to many things. All of those are, in my mind, success ingredients for great PO. So definitely a lot of great insights there, Robert. We're getting close to the end, though, Robert, and I am so sorry. This conversation could last a long time, and for those of you who haven't yet heard of it, that episode about estimation, I think it could turn into a whole 1 hour conversation or more, but let's not go there because we're already close to the end. Robert, share with us, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
Oh, there's in LinkedIn, you'll find. So I've done a few talks at the Agile Tour Vienna, which have been recorded. I host the Agile Tour Vienna with my friends at Tech Talk, and I've done a couple of talks there, including the one where I pretend to be a management guru selling anti-patterns or agile anti-patterns to managers as very cool patterns. And I'm the agiledrillsergeant.com. One word. It's just like my experience as a Scrum Master and Agile coach, basically in picture form. Or in cartoon form, a way of letting off steam. That's where you can see.
Absolutely. I'll put the link to all of those in the show notes. Robert, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
Thank you, Vasco, for the chance to be interviewed and your very insightful questions.
We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.